Hi, welcome to Regional Stocks, Forex and Futures with Jonathan. Today is 13th of July 2014. Man, what a time really just flies, okay? It's been the half a year and been half a year of 2014, and now we are proceeding deep into the July of 2014. Right now, market are showing signs of breaking, so we shall see what's going on. On Friday, Dow positive 29. So you notice Friday Dow Jones has been constantly green. In fact, I think someone told me that this could be the 8th, 7 or 8 or maybe 9th, but it's been about that number. Continuous Friday Dow Jones has been green. Whew, managed to caught the Dow Jones at the low right here. So if you want to find out how I catch that low, join my workshop coming up really soon. Announcement right after this. Okay, so that's a fantastic, beautiful Friday. Okay, all right, so what shall we see this week? This week, do take note that this week, Monday, somewhat quiet Monday, but it will be a climatic midweek, because on Tuesday, if you notice on Tuesday, okay, here Draghi speaking, Yellen speaking, the BOE speaking, Yellen speaking right here. So you notice that, well, a lot of people are going to speak on a Tuesday and also Wednesday. A lot of news on Wednesday. Look at all the red color. In fact, Yellen is going to speak again on Wednesday. She's going to speak on Tuesday and Wednesday. Yeah, Tuesday and Wednesday. So it's going to be a climactic midweek. Before Friday would be the option expiration day. Okay, so it's the this week is going to be something to look out for. Now, there are potential signs we shall watch out for. Last week we have Portugal news. So still remember PIIGS? P has happened. So Ireland, Italy, Greece and Spain. If any of these 4 countries got any news, the market is going to think that the PIIGS is going to come back. So watching out for any European news, wondering whether European crisis is going to come back. But if you take a look, okay, if you take a look at the market, this is the US market. The US market, look at how fantastic the uptrend is, okay? But if you take a look at the recently, we are still uptrend. We are still uptrend. Although this breakout here, breakout from this prior high, they could not hang on to the breakout, and now we fall below. So watching out to see whether will there be another possibility breakout higher here, or this breakout is a failure, we're going to go lower. Okay, but US, look at this, it's still a solid uptrend. Okay, however, if you take a look at London, look at this London. We now have a similar high, but we have lower low. Lower low is forming in London, and right now this is the inverse wedge, forming an inverse wedge pattern. Similarly, like Germany, the strongest country in the Europe, similar high but lower low. Okay, so right now in Europe are no longer uptrend. It's no longer forming a good uptrend. Now PIIGS, take a look at Spain. Spain collapsed really badly over the last week. Okay, so right now the fear is everyone's watching out to see whether European crisis is going to come back. In fact, you take a look, we have a shoulder, head and a shoulder right here sloping downwards. But well, let's just put it this way, this is a lower high and a lower low, confirm downtrend. Excuse me. Okay, all right, so watching out the Europe, watching out the indices very, very closely. Now coming closer to home, we have Japan. Okay, Japan rebounding. However, Japan right now forming a potential double top. So watching Japan to see forming potential double top. In fact, we broke below, but they managed to save. Okay, we broke below just a little bit here, but they managed to save. So let's see whether we can break below this. Okay, the right support level for Japan would be at about 15,050. Okay, watching out the Japan level at 15,050. If we break below, we're gonna go lower. Okay, next in terms of Hang Seng forming, sitting right there. Okay, sitting right there. Could it be possibility forming a shoulder, a head and a shoulder? Watching that out very, very closely. So right now in Hang Seng, I'm watching this trend line very, very closely. Okay, very, very closely. Next, in terms of Shanghai. Now, do take note, Shanghai right now, Shanghai is forming a beautiful, a really, really beautiful, okay, look at the trend line resistance right there. That's a beautiful trend line resistance, okay, and it's forming right now a very beautiful descending triangle. So potential downside if we ever broke 1990 to the downside, okay, potentially we may go conservative. I don't like to take the extreme view. Conservative, we may go down to about 175 or 1760, thereabout. Okay, if we break down the 1990, Shanghai can go down to 1760 only if we break and close below 1990. Okay, and now for Jakarta Composite. Jakarta Composite, we have a strong pre-election news. On the election news, we gap up, and then right after the next day, we had a massive gap up rally and a massive sell down. So this sell down comes with a volume. So right now, watching Jakarta Composite very, very closely, because this could be a blow off top. That means all the way, and that's it. Okay, potentially if Jakarta Composite cannot go higher than 5165, the chart for Jakarta Composite is not really nice. So watching this out very, very closely, because Jakarta Composite cannot go higher than 5165, we are going to go lower. To confirm that we go lower, if Jakarta Composite goes below 4838, this very strong support right here, Jakarta Composite is gone. Okay, Jakarta Composite is gone. In other words, if we draw the low and the high, if we highlight on this Fibonacci, if Jakarta Composite cannot break higher and we go below this 4835, potentially Jakarta Composite may go down to 4660, 4500, or 4350, thereabout. Okay, watching this very, very closely. And now remember, earlier on I was mentioning about Dow Jones. If Dow Jones break all the support, that means Dow Jones pull lower, maybe because of European crisis, which already forming the lower high, we may pull Europe go lower, US go lower, may pull Jakarta market to go lower. So watching this out very, very closely. So in other words, if you have long position in Jakarta, watch your trailing stop. Watch your trailing stop very, very closely. At least better to have some profit than no profit if the trailing stop get hits. If I'm wrong, the trailing stop will not get hit, Jakarta Composite goes higher, you are still safe, isn't it? So watch your trailing stop very, very closely. Okay, now I'll be holding two workshops this week. Okay, if you go to my website, WCA Charting Academy, okay, wcachartingacademy.com, I'll be holding two workshops this week, and this would be a live trading day. That means if you have signal, we will be trading live. You will be able to watch me how I trade live. It will be on Wednesday, okay, Wednesday at UOB Plaza, Tamrin, okay, Tamrin, okay, the address is actually UOB Kehian office. On Thursday, it will be at the Casablanca, Cocas, okay, Wednesday 2 p.m, Thursday 7 p.m. And since the market is open, we shall see whether we have signal. The last Friday, we were trading live. Those who join us on the trading live, we actually long Dow Jones, and we actually long Dow Jones right here. Beautiful, fantastic signal. We caught it right there. So if you want to know how we catch that signal, join me this Wednesday and Thursday. Okay, hari Rabu, hari Kamis, join me in the live trade to see whether we have any signal. So I'll see you again next week in the YouTube, and you be safe in your trading. Thank you.